Hi, welcome back. Uh, in previous session, we discussed about the table creations, right? How to create the table, and what is the extended, what is the extensible, and how to create the columns, what are the default column it comes, and how to enter the values, right? Uh, so many things. I mean, most of the basic things we have seen in a table, right? How to create a table and how to delete. I think we have not seen this. How to delete the table and other stuff, right? So we little little deep. Okay, we dive deep into this session. Okay. So before we start, and we were whenever we are doing, right, we were discussing about this the few things. This data, everything is in service now is a database, right? I mean, which all the information stores in somewhere in table. So even this table, right, and this table also stores its own data into some tables. So for example, these are called data dictionary tables. Say, for example, here data db underscore object dot list, right? This is also one of the table object ob. Okay, okay, sys underscore. So probably b is missing over here. Okay, go right. So So whenever we the statement, right? So whatever the data the stores in a table, even the tables we are creating this table, right? This is also stored in some table. This is the data. This is the one table, right? This is a one table. This is the table which is sys underscore db underscore object is a table which it stores all the tables whatever there we have created, and these are the custom tables, base tables, and core tables. Whatever the tables are there in the system, in the service now, so far it shows in this particular table. So far what we have is 5,482 tables are there in our service now system, right? Okay. And the same way, there is a one more table where sys underscore dictionary. Okay. So let's see what it contains, right? So earlier we saw where sys underscore db underscore object, which have the information about the record, the tables, right? The tables as a record. What is the table which is created and all the stuff. In the sys underscore dictionary, it contains tables and the column definitions. So here, for example, we have created, right? In previous session, we have created the flight booking, right? This is the table name, actual the table name. The label is different and the actual table name is different, right? And this is the table name which is we define. This is custom table which is we also understand, right? So which is prefixes with the u underscore. So this is flight bookings what we have created, and this is prefixed with the u underscore, and this is a column name which is see here left side we see what are the table names, right? I mean, this is all the single table name which is referring to a single table name, right? Single table name, bookings, right? U underscore flight bookings. And if you come to thrill, right? Till here, this is the same table, a single table. Why it is showing is this column name. Actually, here in this table, this mainly refers to the column name. This column name, which is belonging to this table, this column name belongs to this table, and these are the columns, right, which belongs to the same table. So it is over here, and also it describes about the type, what type we have. Sorry, the type is which is what do we say, the data type here, right? This one is the booking date is the date and time, and again this is a string. Sys id is a sys id, right? And we have seen it created in the date and time. We also seen this all this, right? In when we open the table, right, inside the table we have seen what are the columns and what are the type of the columns, right, whether they are the referenced or not referenced. Okay, we said, like, we had we stated, okay, we deep dive here, okay, further, like, what else the properties are having here for the tables, right? This is the reference, right? References. So most of the times, right, we have come across this, right? The references when so our favorite table, which is the incident, right? I'm just going to refer the incident table here. Okay? So I'm trying to open the form here. Okay, when you open the form, right, this is something, right? Whenever we see, like, lookup list, right? This is the one, this is the one. So whenever we right click and see, right, this is the data dictionary, right? So what I have open, so I open the table which is incident. I have opened, I have selected a column which is having the reference. What type of this is the reference, right? Understand? I mean, I guess you're getting me, right? Okay. So this is what? This is reference, right? Whatever is having this reference. And whatever we have created, right? Our custom table, our own defined table, we don't have any references. For example, if you see the same thing for the incident table, right? So that, okay, go over here and look for the incident table. Come on, takes time. Okay. So this is like this. This is also right. The type is the reference. Okay. Uh, Come on. Why it's saving time? I think it has come over here on top. Okay. So here we go for incident, right? Incident table. So there are a few things, right? Here, if you go see here, this is empty reference, right? Incident here. This is the type is reference, right? Which is referring to the incident again. Okay. So like this, if you go and we see here incident, which is reference to the problem. So this is also one of the type which whether this one is having the reference uh, uh, that what is the type generally whatever we have the references, right? So user is a reference, so then this should be the reference type. Okay, the default value we have not set any default instead for this, and we see in I mean in further session, right? So what is the default value? Okay, this is actually the default value. Even we can override this default value by giving the dictionary override, right? And here this is a display. We know in the forms, right, whether to display either true or false, right? Okay, this is text index. Text index is nothing but whether we have created any indexes over here or not. Just try to do anything we have created over here, right? There are two indexes have been created on this. One is for the okay, an incident. Another one is incident task. There are two things, right? So they have been created. Okay. So what else here? So like this is the main thing which we have to understand. This is audit. Audit is a table once again, like we see inside this SecOps kind of thing. We use this auditing over here. This is when last updated. Even we can add, we can personalize here, right? I guess you well versed with this. Whatever we want, we can add it here, and we can see in this particular one. If we have updated, and even you want created, if you want to put yes, right? We can add this here, and we can just see we can personalize over here, right? So right, see created, right? This is updated and this is created. We just if you want we can do this. So probably we have understand, right? Now, one more thing which we are added over here is like the type, right? Whenever it is having like references and it shows the references, right? This is referencing to which other table, right? And this referencing like we see in relationships, right? And so earlier we have seen the reference, I mean, relationships in shortcuts. So now we deep dive in a while. Okay. So we have seen sysdb object and sys underscore dictionary, and there is a one more table which is dictionary table is sys underscore documentation. This contains, so the first one is contains the table, right? The second one contains the table name and the column properties. And this one is also contains, this is label. So earlier, what we have seen here, so for example, here if you just table element and the label, okay. Um, we well works with incident. So just I take incident table over here, right? Okay. So this is a table, right? These are the elements, these are the language. See actually here, so here we more talk about the labels in this table, right? This dictionary table more talks about the labels. So far, what we have done, see, we know, right? Service now supports a lot many languages, right? It can be Chinese, English, French, right? So most of the languages it supports. So here this table always see inside the table it reads English, right? The actual value will be in English. This label can be any other language. If it is Chinese, they don't know the English, most of the people. So the label will be in English. If it is a French, it will be French, Spanish, Japanese, something like this. The label can have different language, right? So and here the language, what language it is belonging to, so it shows. So mostly this everything is in English over here. So if you want, we can set up with the other language. And there was a we morning we saw, right, string. When you type in a string, there was a string and string UTF-8, right? So I just asked, like, what is the difference? But this is what the difference when it is supporting for other than the English, right? That when we use like UTF-8, okay, we select that string as a UTF-8. So here this one talks more about the labels, right? Labels are what human readable. The machine actually what it thinks that is English, another one. If it is Chinese, they don't understand other stuff. They understand only the label, right? The label can be in the Chinese language or Japanese language, whatever the language it is. So there are three main there are three main dictionary tables, right? Three main dictionary tables: sys underscore db underscore object, right? Sys underscore dictionary and sys underscore documentation, right? These are the things. Okay, these are three main things which we will be having this. It contains each record for a table, right? And this one contains the table and column definitions, and this contains the readable labels and language information. So this one is clear, right? These three are the most important things. If you don't know about any tables, go to the system DB and sys underscore DB underscore object, and we can look for the what are the tables. Then something like this, right? We don't know. Sometimes we forgot our table name or something. So we go here, DB underscore object dot list, right? Just look for this. We say this is a flight booking we have created, but we forgot sometimes, right? We just put like this FLIGHT, right? We remember this. Just type in here. Sorry, there is right. So something. See, this is something like we forgot something or something. We can even search, right? The filter things we can use over here. Okay, for this. Yeah, sometimes we remember the column name but not the table. So that time we use sys underscore dictionary, right? Sys underscore dictionary, right? So in here, so that particular time, so we use just like a number. So there is nothing called number. Type in, right? Whatever is starting from the number. So all the number columns, right? We're starting from this. We can look for them, right? This is how it is. Okay. So far, I think we have clear with this, right? What is the data dictionary tables and how, what are the columns and whether the extensible, the references and the what are the default values display the text, what are the headings it's showing, what are the properties it's showing, the column properties, right? We have clear. Okay. So that is what for this. And next, what we see, we have seen this controls like where we can update and all the things, other stuff. So now what we see the next further. Okay, let's see. Let's see the relationships, right? So we lastly we have seen just in a glance we have seen what are the relationships, right, earlier. So incident, take incident, any table, in this case we can take any table, right? Okay, incident, do. So this table, so we were just wanted to see what are the relationships and how these are working. So far we understand, right, what is the referencing. So we understand the referencing, like, so this table is looking for something like service, right? When we click here, so this is looking something over here, which is not in this. What we are is, we are in incident table, right? And what we are referring, which is the table, is CMDB service, right? So this there's supposed to be, I mean, some relationship in between this and this. So we let's try to understand this in a graphical mode. So we already seen, like, what is that, to see the graphical mode, how to see this in graphical mode, right? So this is a table. What is the incident? Okay, so incident table. We see sys underscore db underscore object. Oh, sorry, the list. So here we go for the incident. Let's open the incident table. Right, and this is the table, right? And let's see the more properties for this. Inside this related links, right, there is something called show schema map, right? So we have seen the earlier also show the schema map, how this works, right? So so there is something like, here there are the highlights, right, like this. Now what we are referring is, we are referring to the table, which is the incident table. So this is having the columns, right, and this is having the task columns. Right. And here, over here, we just wanted to see what are the referencing tables over here. Okay. So far we have seen referencing tables, right? So there are two things: show reference tables and show referencing tables. So let's see first the show reference tables. Okay. So these all the show reference tables. Okay. So how do we see which table? I mean, how it is, which column is referenced over here, right? So just go to the columns here, right? Whatever we see the red colors, right? I mean, it is highlighted in the red color, right? Reference to the user, reference to the change request, reference to the change request. So this is reference to the user, right? This is reference to the user table, right? This is this is only the having the relationship, okay, to referencing to the user. The caller is referencing to the user, right? This user, okay. So this is how it is. So far we've seen, like, last time CMDB something, right? So there must be, right, CMDBCA, which is referenced, and this particular table, right, the incident table, which is referenced to the these many tables. So the same way, this is not only a reference to the tables, it is also referencing to other tables. So let's see whether it is having, yes, it is having two referencing table. From here, right, if you see here, right, reference to the incident, right? This one, incident task, is referencing to the incident table. And over here, if you go and see here, this is a reference to the, see, incidents, right? Reference to the incident. This is what we are talking about here. So far, we are talking about this reference. Okay. So, and even we understand, I mean, we discussed about other relationships, right? So the relationship, we were talking, like, parent tables and, child tables, which are referenced tables, and extended tables. We are extending tables. Extended tables, that means from parent we have extended. Extending tables means for this we have the child. So we reference this like, two classes. One is the parent class, another one is child class. Okay. If you want, we can put all, select all this for the just to understand the clear picture over here. I'm just deselecting these two, and I am selecting the first as a show extended tables. Right, exactly. So here, over here, we see here, right? This one, right? The task is extended, right? the incident is, sorry, I mean the incident is extended. That means this is the task is the parent and this is the child. So this is extended from the task. So these are the column we see here, right? The first columns and this first columns. So what we understand, so whenever the child is created, right? So this child is extended from the master, I mean from the parent. So parent, whatever the columns are there, the fields are there, all will be derived to the child class, right? uh, for the for the extending table. So here, these are the columns. These are all the things, right? These are the columns, right? Extended from here, right? If you see, okay, these have been extended from here, okay. And there's a one more plus we see here, right? This is what this instant is having its own columns, right? So like this it is. So let's see whether this even this. So incident has been extended from task. Let's see whether incident has extended to any other tables. All right. Let's select this. Yes, it is. Yes. So there is ICS helpless is a table, right? Which is extended from incident. So here in this case, what happens here? Incident is extended from task and the ICSA help desk is extended from the incident. And this is the child to this and this is child to this, all right. So whatever the properties have inherited here, whatever the properties have inherited here, plus these are having their own columns. I think we understand the thing, right? What is the reference, what is the referencing tables, what are the show extended and extending tables, all right. If we select all together, so it looks like something like this, right? And here, right, it is indicating, right, okay, red color, orange and green and blue colors. So this is how we see here, right? These are the, okay, once you place this, right, this is referenced, right? This is referenced, right? Okay, this is extended. And so we understand, right, how the schema map, how we have to do it. This is the one of the easiest way to understand what is the relationship between the tables. Nothing, it's nothing big over here. There are two things. One is the reference tables, referencing tables. That means whether we are referenced to I mean whether we are taking the data from other tables or we are giving the data to the other table, right? This is a simple thing. Referenced is like, okay, from here we are requesting or we are taking the data from other tables. Referencing means we are giving the data to other tables, right? Extended is like, extended is we are deriving. That means we are born from other tables or whether we are giving the child tables. That is a very simple way where we can put our words. Okay, so I think we are clear with this relationships and how we see schema map. This we see here in schema maps always, right? So even you go to dictionary and bottom of this, I guess, okay, here we don't have. I think we have to see only inside this tables, right? So go to the any table, okay, and see and even probably let's see, um, no, oh, okay, we can go in this way. Okay, we can go even like this, right? Okay. The two ways we can see the things, right? This is where from here we go system definitions tables, or else we can just just can type in like sys underscore db underscore objects from here. The same thing which have been right. This is the same thing where we see the thing, right? So go any one, because I have not selected this because we don't have any extended and extending and the reference for this. So I have not selected this because if you go over here and you see where we have created, this is our one, right? So we don't have anything, right? We have not created. We just created to test just the columns. So we don't have anything over here. It's just the columns what we have created over here, right? These are the few default columns and other one like the booking date and other stuff we have created. The few columns over here. Okay, so I guess we are clear with this relationships and how to create this, and we also know, right, how to delete the table, right? So go to the table and probably select one, right? And or we just can open this, right, over here. So delete. How many records? Just if you want to see, we can go and see this. There are, I think, two records inside this, right? What is table here? Apologies. Right, right. There are two tables in this, right? So let's try to delete this, right? So go down over here and system definition, the tables and the flat, open the flat one, right? And delete all records. So do you really want to delete? Yes, I want to delete. Two records deleted from the flat. Okay. Is this okay? Okay. So we don't have any records. And then what is the next? You want to just cross check if you want. Probably we can cross check this. Right? There are no any records over here. So probably right, we go here and just delete it. Do you want to delete this problem table? So the table is deleted, right? We don't see here, right? Okay. This is how we create the tables. We know how to create the table, how to delete the records, what are the relationships, what are the references, how it's extended and extensible, or referenced or referencing. So all the relationships we have been understand inside this. Okay. So other thing is like so one more topic we see here with the tables, which is indexes, right? So we know what are the indexes. Anyone like this is a generic concept. What is index? Okay. So if you go and type in here, right? What is index? Index in database. Actually, index is nothing but we know in a book, right? Whenever you open a book, so firstly we see the where is the index, right? Index. Once you go into the index, we see like which lesson is where it is standing and which page, which column is standing. So like this, you'll be saying, see, general. If you talk in general words, forget about the database and any system level thing, right? When you just think indexes is something which indicates a particular place, right? Yeah, it points. Yeah, it points to the place. It points to one place, right? So it points to a place like, for example, on 30th page, what is there? It indicates. If you want to go for a particular lesson, right? So go to the lesson and then the next to that, it refers to uh, the page number. So easily we just can, browse to we just can browse to this. Indexing is like, just pointing out, right? This is a pointer. So over here, it is a pointer to do this. And index puts unordered tables into orders and effectively speed up the query to the columns in your tables. So here, anything, see, in a book, we have seen, right? In a book, what we have seen, to speed up to browse the data, right? So in book, say for example, we are having the book, the pages of 500. So if you want to go to the lesson 8, we don't know. We have to browse. Probably after 200 pages or 300 pages, we are not sure where it is. So go to the index and look for the which on which page it is the lesson 8 is standing. So go to that and directly we can do that. The same thing we create an index on the table with the column, right? Here something like the column is like a lesson, right? The table is like a book. Okay, we create a we create an index on the column that on the column on the in the for the particular table. So whenever we refer that particular one, it makes easier the data to be ordered. Right? Generally, the data is ordered in some way, like it is very difficult to read, like record by record. So in that case, we create a column we create a column, sorry, we create an index on the column to find out the information which store on your database, which is on a table, right? So what it says, it build indices to access the data held in your tables more easily, right? It's easy, one thing. Other one is it's a speed up, right? It's very fast, right? So we create index when the query execute takes long time to result. That particular time. Actually, what is the use case over here? So, for example, we want the number. Say, for example, I just when we go when we use something like incident list, right? Incident or list, right? And over here, what we are trying to do is just do some filter, right? So what's here? I'm saying whether it's active is true and number when the number is something this one, okay, right? I just want to look for this, okay. So this is giving some time, and right, this is something what we have done over here is we have run a query. We have run a query. That means how many, say if you go over here, right? So how many records are here? There are 104 records are here. So this is just the sample database, right? Sample table. So we have 104 tables. If you take in any organization, there are thousands of the records. If you want to create any report, or if you want to generate a report, a daily report, or based on anything, right? If it is a priority one tickets for the daily basis, that's still okay. If it is a weekly base, we are having the data of too much thousands of the records. So that particular it takes a huge time. So for that, we will be creating the index, whatever we want to see, very frequent. So on that, say for example, every day we are creating a report on priority basis. So for that, we will be creating an index on a priority column. So here we have seen, right, so far, say, which is the active tickets, active is true, and what I want is the priority, right? So priority is one, right? This is a one. So we are trying to run this, okay? So we are using this, but what is the query we are running is this one, right? Where active is true and the priority equals to one, which is critical. Show me this. Okay. Out of that, there are 20 is being run on this. So here we how we see this is okay. Just in a fraction of second, it has come. How to calculate the time? Here we see here there is a something like this. Like there's a clock, stop clock we see over here, right? So this is the one. Once you click this, we understand what is the time it has been taking. This is what we say response time, right? This is actually we say response time indicator. Okay. So this one we say response time indicator. Once you just the place over here, it shows, right? And even in the detail, if you want to see that, how many milliseconds it has been taken, three milliseconds, and server has taken. This is to response. Okay, this is unload. This is down process. This is unload, right? This is so over here. Whenever we see this, right, this is okay. This is a good one, right? Sometimes it is taking half a minute, right? Sometimes it is taking 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That particular time, what we want to do, we want to make it faster, right? Every time I don't want to put more load on my system and more time for the waiting, right? So it is taking more time. That means that particular time it is using the resources. I don't want to do this. I want to make the system simple to search, and I want to make them to use less resources on the system. So that particular time I'll be creating I creating an index over here. And there is one more way where we can check this whether how it is going and all the things, right? There is something called here slow queries, right? Over here you can see stats. In stats you can see slow queries over here. So once you go into this and you see here like an average execution time of this particular execution. So far whatever we have executed, right? These many things we have. So this execution count. And we are whenever we are creating an index, right, we'll be keeping a few calculations over here. So one thing is average execution time and how many times it has been executed. The most of the I mean the most I mean the maximum count thing will be taking this, right, whether how many times it has been created and that particular item. And what is that? Okay, total execution time is 1 hour 56 minutes, almost 2 hours. Okay, this is what we have done here, right? This is a query we have done here. So let's try to open this. Right. So this is a query which has been run these many times. Okay, the trigger is so and so, and select from so and so where this is the next equal to action, or this is a query which has come over here. This has run for this much 1 hour 56 minutes and 15 seconds it has taken to do this. Okay, this is not this has run with the background query, right? This is an example, right? This is a background transaction when it is first started and when it is last started. I mean, last started. And these are the spikes we can see, like, what exactly it is going. And query execution time, we can see over here. So by seeing this, if it is a slow, we can create that particular index on that particular query. So here also see there are two things how to do this. Once this query is doing, so there should be a lot many things and a lot many, see, this is taking from this, right? And from this trigger where these are conditions. We have to put more where conditions. So the query takes small time and also we have to create an index over here. How do you create index in this case? There are two ways to create an index. One is go to table, right? One thing is like, go to the tables. On which table you want to create? Okay, go to insert. You want to create an incident, right? Right? Okay. This is a table on the table incident where we want to create it, right? And go to the here. Okay. And these many indexes already exist on this particular table, right? So go here. Okay. Uh, after going here, go to the bottom and see this database indexes. There are already 56 indexes are there on this. Okay. So these many are there. Okay. And if you want to create it, go to the new, and this is your incident, and these are the columns where you want to and which column you want to create the index on, because on a table we have to select the column. On the column itself we will be creating the table, right? In example we understand, right, in previously when there is a book we want to create a index, it should be a lesson, right? It's something like, for the lesson here over here we will be doing on a column, right? So this should supposed to be the category, right? Category, because the P1, right, the is a category, right? No, actually the problem, right? So take out this, right? The problem, right? Where there's a problem, we take this, right? and select this one and just put create index. And index is always, it's not something like which runs on the front end. I mean, which takes back end database side, so it doesn't show it here. If you want to put any, you want notification once this is done, you just can put like this, right? And you can put okay. Index creation successfully scheduled. It completes successfully, and the index will be added to the current update set. Default is an ML will be sent to the blah blah blah, right? So this is how it is. So you have created an index, right, on the problem. So this is how we create an index. There is a one more way we can create indexes, like other way. So the ways are different, but both are the same again. Okay. Even we go here, right, and table in the columns, and select the select the table which you want to, like the incident we seen right earlier. So go to the table, right? These are the column names, right? And these are the attributes, and we have seen. So if you want to see, like the attributes, we can see the attributes. Attributes are nothing but it is something like the properties over here. Okay. So we have selected the incident, right? So the table name is incident, and over here again, right? Same thing, which we add over here, and the same thing, okay? The create index. So there is one more thing, like unique index, right? So create index is like create. We can create on multiple indexes over that particular column. If you select unique, that means that is the only one index we can create on a column, right? That is the only thing. Just create one, right? The same thing which earlier we seen, right? Same thing we can create over here. Okay, this is what the index which is we can create on the table, uh, uh, with the table on the column, right? So we understand, right, why we create the index, what is the importance of the index, right? And how to create an index right here. So let's see how we can delete the index, right? How to delete the index? See here, there is, I mean, a small catch over here, right? Okay. So here there is something like, create a table, and, I mean, on this particular table, on this particular column, we can create the index. There is nothing like, delete, right? So here we can edit table, schema map, and delete all records, but not the index. So here what we will be doing is like, always we have to go for the dictionary. So what is dictionary? Again, in previous sessions we have seen, right, what is dictionary, right? Dictionary is nothing but, right? I mean, it is it contains the table and column names and all the properties of the table and the columns, isn't it? Right? There's a dictionary over here, and here we have seen, right? When we were trying to understand this, what are the headings, right? What are the properties of this, right? We saw like test index, correct? So even we have seen, right? This is right, true, and the table which is right? So let's see the two things where there's the index incident, and this is the something like okay, true. If you want to see this is true, that means there is an index has created. So you want to disable or delete it, right? So as you know, double click it and make it false, right? And save it. So the what is saying this incident table extends the table and blah 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 text index, and so it will remain this text. So what it is saying is like this particular column is having some reference things that also get impact. Okay, if you want to say to delete, then delete it. If you don't want, yes, don't want to, just keep it like this. Okay, pause. So if you want to do, just save it, or else just keep it as okay. We don't want to mess up with this. This is how we can delete the index. Okay, I think so far we have clear, right? So for the next sections, will be there is one more topic which in deep in dive we have missed is only the database view. So probably we can have another section for this database views. How to create this? What is the definition of this? How? So generally, just to give a small intro for that, is database view is nothing like combining two or more tables, right? Two for the view. Say if you take the use case. we are creating a report, right? We are creating a report where the report is required from incident table, incident task table, as well as the problem table. So we want the data from all these three tables. So that particular time, we want to collect the data. It's not like, say, incident is having, like, 20 columns, right? We don't want all these 20, and the incident task is having all 20, so we don't want all 20. The same way, what do you say? The problem is having, like, 30 columns. We don't want. What we want is, what are the priority from the incidents, and what are the tasks that is having with this, and what are the incident has been created, incident created on the problem, right? So that's only this information we want, but the information we want from all the three tables. So that particular time, we have to club in all these three tables and create as a view, and take the information from that and create a report. So this is a use case. And for the okay, in the practical sessions, we see how to create a database view, and how do we there is something like, left join and other stuff. So we see in the next sections. Okay. So for any questions over here? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.